I'm in a period of a lot of transition, and I would say that, I mean, aren't we all? Haven't we all been in a period of a lot of transition over the last couple of years? But lately, I'm on a little bit of an upswing while being in the midst of a lot of change, which my system doesn't always really like. But I'm trying to get better at sort of, this would be a corny analogy, but like riding that wave, you know, of being in the midst of change and also not being totally destabilized by it. So I feel like I'm getting the hang of it. I would say that the people that know me would describe me as being a very open book. I am an external processor for sure. But when it comes to publicly, you know, sharing about it, I feel constantly torn between wanting to really honor and protect my privacy and my boundaries and just not sharing everything about myself with everybody, but then also my insatiable desire and need to be honest about who I am. So I'd say that I share it when it feels appropriate for me, but for many years, I'm grateful that social media has become a place, while it's incredibly dangerous and toxic and unhealthy in so many ways, I feel like it's getting unpacked a little bit, where people do feel that like this shiny, glossy version of it is, we know it's not real. So I'm grateful that it's a place that I feel like I can be honest about what's going on for me. But my mental health challenges started when I was 18, is when they really kicked in for me, when I came down with OCD really bad in college. And no, I did not feel comfortable sharing that with people. You know, there was a lot of stigma. I didn't even understand what was happening to me. So I think sharing it with other people felt really, really unsafe, because a lot of people misunderstood it. And at the time, being misunderstood was something that I just could not tolerate. But as I've really like worked on myself over the years and got to know all my different isms, I feel so much more comfortable just being who I am and sharing about it when that feels appropriate. Not really. No, I don't. I'm so grateful for the very, at times, painful growth that I've been through over the last few years. And I'm just not in a place where I can pretend anymore. I haven't been for a long time, but I think it used to be really important to me to make other people comfortable, to make other people feel comfortable. And if other people were uncomfortable, I couldn't be uncomfortable, you know? So sharing something where I risked being misunderstood just felt like too much of a leap. It felt like too vulnerable of a thing to do sometimes. And I just can't do that anymore, you know? I just can't do it anymore. Oh, that's a deep one to unpack. Because I think that inherently being not even just a human, but being anything on this earth is chaotic. You know, we can't prevent everything. We can't control everything. And part of my disease, so to speak, is the desire to want to control everything and thinking that if I can just get it perfect and I can just get it right, then I can stop anything bad from happening. So that's one side of the coin. And then the other coin is knowing that like I am not a victim of my circumstances. You know, I'm not solely a victim. I'm not helpless. It's not that there's nothing that I can do and I'm just like subject to the whims of whatever happens to me. So I think that we have to, like, as individuals, the more that we learn about ourselves, I believe that self-knowledge is a gift. It is something that is oftentimes not given to us. So maybe it's not a gift, it's earned. It's a gift we give to ourselves the more that we learn about ourselves and go through hard experiences. And, you know, for me, that means getting to know myself and who I am and what works for me and what doesn't work. Most importantly, what doesn't work for me. And so when I say prevention is the best medicine, like I'll talk about that in a food way because I'm a nutritionist and a chef, and that's really important to me. I've had to get to know through all of my various challenges with chronic illness and having Lyme disease and so many different health problems that I've had, that there are certain foods that do not work for me. Like, they cause harm to my body. They cause harm to my mind, and they're all connected, right? And so I can't just continue to consume those things without abandon and then be surprised when my life isn't working out for me, and when my body's totally not cooperating and like really challenging things are happening. So I think we have to really be honest with ourselves about what's going on and think about what we can do based on our own personal experiences to like set ourselves up for success, So the more that we can do on the front end, the less we have to clean up on the back end. It's really interesting when I think about it's my cat getting in the camera. That's cat, he's just around. Munker, come on. When I think about my trajectory, when it comes to my health, my physical health, my mental health, my spiritual health, I kind of went through 3 different breakdowns. The first one was when I was 18 and I came down with horrible OCD when I got to college. And I spent a good 3 years of my life like in the throes of that, of not having a solution, not knowing what was happening, not knowing if I was going to be okay, not seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I remember writing when I finally found my therapist, who I did exposure response prevention with, I did CBT therapy with, who really changed my life. I wrote on the intake form, he was like, "What are your goals?" And I said, to speak about this in the past tense. And then I kind of got better from my OCD, and then all my chronic illness problems started like coming crashing down on me. And those lasted for about 5 years. And I was in the middle of that without hope, for a long time. Like, I was really lost in it, and I didn't ever know if I was going to find the other side. And then I got better, and I'm sorry, he does that sometimes.
Okay.
He has a lot of feelings, just like me, just like all of us. And I got better, and then it was like I had to confront my spiritual self, like, which was the underlying one all along, that I believe all those other things were manifesting because of that. But I think it's really important to surrender to being on your knees sometime, like that, to surrender that like things are out of control and you need help. Yeah. And to not keep fighting it and trying to figure it out and come up with solutions. I think that that's an illness in and of itself, is the fighting against it. And every time for me, every single time, whether it was my mental health, my physical health, it was only when I like got on my knees and was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I don't know what to do. I'm out of ideas. That's when I feel like something bigger stepped in and took the wheel and helped me towards the solutions that I couldn't figure out with my little mental human brain. I think it's so okay to be lost in the mix of it and feeling confused and lost for a period of time. That's a part of getting better, because it's a humility that you develop. Oh, wow. In every way. I need intimacy. I used to think that intimacy was only physical, or that it was only emotional. And I used to try to concentrate it in one person and try to get all my needs met there. And that didn't work for me. So now I need close relationships in my life. I need friends. I need fellows. I need my coworkers. I need my partner. I need my family. But I really try to practice not expecting to get all of my needs met from any one person, or for those people to show up perfectly and give me everything that I need in order to be okay. Like, I have to give that to myself first. I'm a very sensitive person. I'm absolutely an HSP. Like, I have so many different, I was joking about this on my social media, but like I have so many acronyms that I identify with. And I think that they're helpful archetypes for understanding oneself and to not be so hard on oneself. But I'm very, very, very sensitive to stimulus. I'm very sensitive to light. I'm very sensitive to like loud sounds and lots of chaos. I'm really sensitive to other people's energies. I'm sensitive to substances and foods and like watching scary movies and like you name it. I tend to have a heightened reaction to it. Like when there's an earthquake, my partner and I always crack up every time this happens. Kind of later, it's funny, but before I even know it, like there's an earthquake and I have already jumped out of bed and started running across the room. And I didn't even make a conscious choice to do that. It's like my fight or flight response gets kicked in so easily. And that's an ongoing thing that I have to work with. You know, it's like, it's not always a choice, but I have to work with my nervous system and give myself like space and time and decompression.
Yeah.
You know, also money. You know.
Yeah.
Money is a stressor. You know, and in so many different ways. That's just a hard one. When I'm not identified with myself.
What is that? What do you mean by that?
Like when I stop taking the Kacie project so seriously. That's when I feel the most at peace. When there's conflict. Laughing. What does my body language say about me? I don't know. Probably that I have a lot of energy. Now I try to all the time, but that's an ongoing process.